What is up, guys, and welcome
Hey,
back
hey,
to
hey.
Dev Shout Listen. I'm Tyler,
I'm Hunter.
and we're coming to you today with another new random thing. This is going to be the top 10 most hated video game companies, according to players. So, we're going to jump right into this one, y'all. A good gaming company. What would you say you think of when you see a good gaming company? Successful. But is that actually true? Most companies prioritize profit over quality. And this normally will result in buggy, glitchy games when they are released. Meanwhile, others will implement a gaming as a service business model that kills the creativity. The main problem with contemporary video game companies is non-gamers make decisions. The gaming company should not be letting people who don't play games make decisions. They make it as a business decision, and yes, while it may be a good business decision, it's not good for the gaming company or the gaming industry. So here are the top 10 most hated video game companies according to players, okay?
I didn't expect that top one.
Number 10 is Atari. When you hear Atari, you're usually thinking, 8-bit characters, like Pac-Man, stuff like that. Unfortunately, the video game industry crashed in '83, and it was the fault of Atari. Although the causes of the crash are complex and numerous, Atari and its E.T. game are significant contributors. Atari Inc. was destroyed. The name continued, though. While they have had some success stories, they could never repeat what they did in the early '80s. After massacring their most popular franchises, Asteroids and Alone in the Dark, Atari is apparently now building hotels.
Wow.
Yep.
How do you go from that? Oh, and look who we get to talk about next.
Number 9, Blizzard. Blizzard is the best example of how quickly the tide can turn, okay?
Yeah.
This company is associated with one of the best RPG and RTS games for decades. Nevertheless, these shifted quickly in recent years. In 2018, Diablo Immortal's controversial reveal created massive turmoil among hardcore PC gamers, which is the majority of the Blizzard fan base.
But you all have phones. Did you see that presser
Yes,
when they did
I
that?
did. The following year, they banned Hearthstone player Blitzchung for supporting the Hong Kong protest. This created a backlash of epic proportions. Even American politicians urged Blizzard to reverse its decision. And then following that, the release of Warcraft 3 Reforged Remaster was the icing on the poop cake, as this game has one of the worst Metacritic user scores. Hopefully, Diablo 4 will pull Blizzard out of the hole they dug, but we'll just have to see. Number 8, Warner Brothers. The gaming wing of Warner Brothers has done a lot of damage to the brand throughout the years, okay? The most prominent is its over-reliance on monetization practices and pre-orders. Sometimes they even promote pre-order bonuses during the game's announcement. For example, they revealed 6 retail-exclusive pre-order bonuses for LEGO Batman 3. Additionally, the aggressive implementation of loot boxes in Middle-earth Shadow of War created a huge controversy. As if that wasn't enough, they violated Federal Trade Commission guidelines by locking review codes on the Shadow of Mordor behind brand deals. You couldn't review the game unless you went and looked at the brands. Bad move on Warner Brothers' part.
Yeah.
Number 7, Epic Games.
Which I don't like this studio anyway, so that's fine.
I used to. Epic was a staple name in the gaming community for years. They've made huge franchises. Unreal, Gears of War, Fortnite. As much as I hate Fortnite, it's a huge franchise.
You know Unreal is a gaming engine, right?
There's also Unreal as an Unreal Tournament, Unreal Championship.
Well, yeah.
There were games. Their Unreal Engine has been the most prominent industry element for 20 years. Unfortunately, they are receiving harsh critics because of the Epic Game Store. Created to combat the Steam monopoly on the PC market. This didn't go well because Epic decided to introduce timed exclusives, which made gamers constantly outraged. Although the Epic Game Store is highly successful, Epic Games has garnered a lot of hate because of it. Number 6, Microsoft. I figured they'd be on here. Starting in 2018, Microsoft has begun its redemption arc with the Xbox brand doing some great things, including the partnership with the PC market and the 2020 acquisition of ZeniMax. Nevertheless, there's no doubt previous generations were a tough one.
Yeah, like Xbox One.
So the Xbox 360 was a massive success. It did not come without its problems, though. Primarily the infamous Red Ring of Death.
Yeah.
Also, there was Microsoft's way of handling the Rare.
Company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the Xbox One reveal happened. This was a disaster from Microsoft, never recovered from. The reason being is they promoted it as an all-in-one media option.
Yeah.
Gamers don't want an all-in-one media option. They want something to play their games on. And they have been improving that with their newer consoles. Yeah, you still have access to a lot of the stuff, but all consoles have that now.
Which is fine. That's where I use most of my media anyway.
The issue is
Just
they
'cause
wanted
I'm
you to be able to
lazy.
link it to your TV and run your TV channels through it and all that. And it was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. That part of it was not good.
Plus, look at that original Xbox One. It is a disaster when you look at how big it is and how chunky it is. And speaking as someone who has done repairs on them and opened them, most of that is dead space. Most of that console is empty. But anyways, guys, we're going to go on to number 5, Bethesda. They've been heavily criticized over the years, mainly for underwhelming creativity output and business screw-ups, okay?
Fallout
For example,
76 comes to mind.
yes, they tried to push the paid mods even after the massive fan backlash. Concerning the games, even their best titles come out as unpolished and buggy. The modding communities spend months improving on these. The pinnacle of lackluster game making is undoubtedly Fallout 76. This one is among the worst multiplayer games ever, with catastrophic blunders almost every day since launched. I will give them credit that they have been working to fix 76, and it is a completely different game from when it launched.
Yeah.
But when you play Fallout, you play it thinking with NPCs and, interactions with different characters. When Fallout 76 launched, there were no NPCs in the game.
It was you and whoever.
You and whoever else was in your lobby. It was a cool.
And still, personally, that's not how I want my Fallout games.
No, it was a cool concept. I liked the idea of being able to play Fallout with friends.
Yeah.
But it wasn't well thought out at the beginning. If they'd done what they're doing now at the beginning, I think it would have been much better received.
Yeah.
And Bethesda would not have got near as much hate for it. But they did. And now, on to number 4. Konami. Like Atari, Konami is a certified powerhouse regarding video games in the 80s and the 90s. One of the biggest names, okay? Arcades were full of Konami machines. Console software was the top that you could get, but they have fallen really low since then, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The year 2015 was particularly bad for Konami. They canceled PT, which was supposed to be the next Silent Hill. Consoles with PT installed on them and not updated because the newest updates blocked you from playing PT are going for thousands of dollars because of the fact that it was supposed to be the new Silent Hill. And they abandoned Kojima Productions, which they had been with for years. And instead of doing what they had been doing that was working well, they released the newest Metal Gear title that killed the franchise.
Survive?
Metal Gear Survive.
Oh.
Furthermore, they allegedly are treating their employees like slaves. And this is all before you mention the pachinko machines. When they decided to announce that instead of doing video games, they would be making pachinko gambling machines. Destroying some of the most beloved franchises for the sake of gambling devices is not something a gaming company should or ever do.
Yeah.
But they did. Number 3, Activision. So Activision has done a lot of things to end up high on this list, okay? We all know it. There's all the accusations of, sexual assault. There's all the accusations of, unfair treatment in the workplace.
Yeah.
Let's mention the yearly editions of Call of Duty, or publishing an unfinished Tony Hawk sequel just to keep the rights. Pro Skater 5.
Yeah.
However,
I forgot about that one.
Their business strategies are also an object of controversy, okay? So in February 2019, the company fired more than 800 employees while simultaneously boasting record profits in an investor call. On the other hand, one of the directors received a $15 million bonus just for taking the job. Not to mention Bobby Kotick, which is a piece of garbage, and his unhinged behavior, to say the least. Many people actually blame Activision for the ruin of Blizzard and other gaming companies under its wing. Sorry, I gotta grab a back scratcher, guys. My back is itching.
I think the only one still holding on in that company is King with Candy Crush and
Yep, it's the only thing
market.
that really seems like it still matters in the mobile market.
Yeah.
Candy Crush is a powerhouse. And I know there are a lot of companies right now that are trying to stop the buyout of Activision by Microsoft. There's a lot of stuff going on for that. Personally, I think it's a good idea to put it under a bigger company like Microsoft or even Sony. Honestly, I wouldn't care which one had it. If you put it under a bigger company that can go in, they can get rid of these people like Bobby Kotick. They can clean out that workplace of all the crap that is in it.
Yeah.
And sort it out and get them back to producing games that people actually will.
I don't want Sony to have it, though, because Sony's got some terrible business practices on their own.
Xbox is improving, but they've had some bad ones as well.
Yeah, but not recently and not like...
Any of them would be better than it still
like
being on
Sony is doing now.
If you have to pick the lesser of two evils, I would rather Sony own it than no one own it, and they continue the way they're going.
See, I have to disagree with you there just because I watch Sony a lot. I've studied a lot of the merger too, and I just don't like Sony and what Sony's doing. Number two, if Xbox gets it, it'll give them more ways to.
We'll go right. Let's go right in the middle. Sell it to Nintendo. Call of Duty on the Switch.
Nintendo wouldn't be able to afford it. But what I'm saying is
I get what you're saying.
If it goes to Xbox, you have multiple different ways of distributing those games. If it goes to PlayStation, it's going to be locked on PlayStation, and ain't nobody ever going to see anything unless you have that system.
And you never know. Xbox could do the same thing.
Or they'll release the games, and then 3 months later you'll get them on PC when everybody's already played them, and they won't mean a dadgum thing.
No. I mean, to be fair, it's all speculation.
Just saying, Spider-Man, everyone.
Anything is better than them getting complete control of themselves.
I understand they don't need complete control of themselves, but I'm just saying PlayStation would not be the sell for me.
You ready for number 2?
Yeah.
Ubisoft. Ubisoft has made undeniably great games in the past decades, okay?
Yeah.
The company often does everything to maximize its profit, though, while hurting gamers. The primary problem is aggressive and expensive microtransactions. A game like For Honor requires either years of playing or $800 if you want to unlock everything. Yet PC players have it the worst, as they also have to deal with the Ubisoft launcher. Unfortunately, Ubisoft is now about sequels, as they aren't taking any risk with new IPs. Unfortunately, those sequels often bring minor improvements and are littered with bugs. Furthermore, the company is now infamous for its trailers, as the final game rarely looks as good. Finally, let's mention the controversial DRM methods that hurt legitimate buyers and the abuse of their employees. Ubisoft has gone downhill a lot in the past few years. There's been a lot of accusations of abuse. Forcing employees to work drastically longer hours than they are technically supposed to be allowed.
See, I don't understand the DRM because I've never had any issue with my
They've got some
digital content not running.
They have controversial methods on how it's done.
Okay.
And that's what they're facing. They're not making any new games. They're only focusing on sequels.
They are remaking Splinter Cell, by the way.
Check that canceled list from yesterday, because it was one of the things that was listed.
I hadn't seen it.
We'll pull it up here in a minute. Look at it. Number 1, and I am not surprised that this is on here and at the top. Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
This company sums up everything people hate about the video game industry.
Especially the sports division. Just,
Everything is here.
I don't know.
Overpaid CEOs, horrible work conditions, loot boxes. Actually, to be fair, the use of loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 caused governments worldwide to change their gambling laws and include video games.
And called Disney. And it made Disney even go,
Which is saying something. There is also their practice of acquiring and then killing beloved gaming companies. So therefore, it's no wonder that they were pronounced the worst consumerist company in America 2 years in a row. Says a lot when you're more hated than Comcast and Bank of America.
Jeez.
So,
That's something.
video game companies have gone a long way. You know, they started out as small garage studios. Now they're giant corporations. They employ thousands of people. Business development means a change of focus in the business model. Video game companies prioritize profits instead of concentrating on entertainment and quality. Some of them did it more than others, bringing them to the gaming community's wrong side. Nowadays, most successful video game companies are followed by some infamy, as you've seen in this list.
Yeah.
It's sad to see companies like Activision and Ubisoft towards the top of this list, and companies like Konami and Atari, which have been staple houses of the gaming community since the beginning, even on the list.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's how businesses are.
It's understandable. I mean, your new company that is rising through the ranks now, and they really revamped their image after their flop. That's Cyberpunk. They've really revamped everything after.
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red really revamped after
But
what happened there.
With how gaming companies are, it would only be a matter of time before they do something else.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to
We'll
see.
just have to wait and see. But guys, that's been the top 10 most hated video game companies according to players.
Yeah.
So if you have anything else, because I don't.
No, not really. I mean, I agree with all of them. I mean, the Electronic Arts one for sure, because
That deserves to be number 1.
as y'all know, I play a lot of games out of the EA Sports division of that company, and we, loot
It
boxes,
deserved to be number 1.
loot packs, it is what it is.
But anyways, guys, that's been Thou Shalt Listen.
Yeah.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Hunter.
God bless you guys. Y'all have a good one.
See you guys later.